Liman takes him, slams him on the ground, gets on top of the guy, and just starts, like, hurting him until the producer says uncle. Like, that's Liman right there. He'll just wrestle you down and make you say uncle.
He was born July 24th, 1965. I mean, that says it all. That says it all. Okay? 1965, New York. This guy. What's he gonna do? He's gonna listen to you? You gonna tell me how to make my movie? You shut the hell up and you hit your mark. Action. Done. I'm Doug Liman, God damn it.
Now, I just have a question for you. Jumpers, right?
Go for it.
Sam Jackson says, either way, you always go bad. And just looking at jumpers, would a jumper always go bad?
Well, what is the definition of going bad? Because you rob a bank, banks are insured.
Yeah. I mean, and you have poker chips. Those are chips, and they lose enough. So, I mean, I'm sure he had stole ATVs, but I guess everything was insured. He probably was probably quite lecherous.
Yeah, absolutely. He teleports to London, he bangs that chick, and he comes right back, and he goes surfboarding afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that's a good scenario. But do you think there are others that would? Because he said, what could stop you from jumping into a missile silo, or does that make sense? Like, what could stop you from destroying the world?
Hoffmeyer, hi. Hey. I have the power to go wherever I want, whenever I want, and do whatever I want. So I'm going to destroy the world. What the hell? It doesn't make any sense. This is the power to jump into a bank, take what you want. Yeah. Jump into the Australian beach or whatever, go surfing. You know, you can see that all he does is just bra stuff. You know, he's quote unquote extreme. You know, that's all he is. He's parachuting guy. And if the movie was better, they would have showed us a jumper going bad. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a jumper that's an assassin that teleports into the consulate in Nigeria and takes the main council guy and woof, jumps 50 feet in the air, drops him, woof, and now he's a paid assassin. Like, that would be awesome if you found out.
Yeah. So that's like the character from Ant-Man the Wasp. She can teleport through walls and stuff, and then they turn her.
Right. Or the bad guy in the red one who was in X-Men First Class. Like, he was a bad guy. He had a scimitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did it go bad?
You know, I found a quote by the director, and it's kind of long, but I want to read this to you. I want to see what you think. How's that sound?
I'm here for it, brother.
All right. Honestly, when I was making the film, I'm a contrarian. There's the way everybody does it, and my instant reaction is, I'm going to do it differently. And so when I was making Jumper, I said that my version of a superhero film would be that the person doesn't become a superhero, they have a superpower, but they use the power to save themselves at the end of the movie, and not to save the damsel in distress. I thought that would be interesting, in the same way the Bourne Identity took what was in the spy genre and just threw it out the window. And then you end up in these moments where you paint yourself in a corner, and it's hard to get out, because you start to realize that these cliches exist because they work. And you've intentionally cut off a known thing that works to do something experimental. In the case of the Bourne Identity, it worked out. And in most of my films, it's worked out. In the case of Jumper, when I first showed it to the studio, they both loved the movie, and they said, you can't release a movie like this because audiences will flip out. You just can't have your hero do something selfish in the finale of the movie, because he went to a beach. And I believe them, and I still believe them. I believe that what I had done was a gimmick. Maybe I was too cavalier about it. You cannot deliver what an audience expects and deliver something radically different, but it better be equal to or better than what they expected. This committed the cardinal sin of just being different, but not as satisfying. I really didn't have a plan B, and I didn't have a supportive environment in which to figure out how to problem solve. Now, he did have a supportive environment, but he just steamrolled everybody. And then he wrote, we did give it a more conventional ending, and it lost a reason to exist. So for me, at the time, I said, this isn't a read I want to go back to. But now he wants to go back to it.
That would have been such a better movie. Imagine that. You know, Bill said, oh, help me. And Samuel Jackson, you will die. And he goes, you know what? I'm going surfing. Oof, that would have been awesome.
He jumped to a beach.
And, that would have been awesome.
And in the original script, she was just a girl he was traveling with. Which is horror, like, that's really giving a short shrift to a female character, just picking her up and using her and letting her die.
But that's what he was doing at the beginning of the movie. It's already set. It's already set up that he is bra. You know, he's extreme guy.
I guess
he goes surfing. He picks up chicks in bars. He steals money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? The chance to show him being heroic only to save this girl and then find out that his mom is actually a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever. Blah.
Now, I got an interesting, right, so we're at a swimming pool, right, in Seoul. And you've had a bunch of makgeolli and you tell everybody, I'm going to do a belly flop from the 15-foot diving board, right?
Right.
And everyone just thinks you're crazy because you're going to really hurt yourself. But you're going to do it because you want to entertain people. You go to do it, and at the last minute you kind of tuck in and you just do like a little side flop. Everyone's going to be extremely disappointed in you. So with Jumper, I feel like he wanted to make the belly flop in a good way, but then at the last minute he kind of tucked. And then that left kind of critics and some audiences feeling a little underwhelmed. Does that make sense?
You see, the thing is, when this movie came out, they didn't have the balls to make it like the book. If this movie came out like the book, we would be talking about this movie as a cult classic instead of just, it was a cool looking movie. Because the movie looks great.
Yeah. No, the way they filmed it, I will say, it does move like a Jumper would move. And I like that about it.
It looks great. It looks great. But story-wise, you don't really care about this guy, man.
Yeah.
And the things that he went through as a kid, he got bullied. Okay. So what?
I guess I like it because of my situation there in Korea. I really like the idea. Totally. And I think I was a bit of a Hayden apologist because people were just so mean, dude. I feel like Deadpool fans have taken over the mantle of Star Wars fans. So the other day I wrote, in honor of Hellboy coming out, here are my favorite, not best, R-rated superhero movies. And this one dude was like, you're stupid. He's like, I like you, man, but this is stupid because I didn't put Deadpool on there. But yeah, like Deadpool fans, they just, I don't know, I worked those Comic-Cons for years. They just seem so angry. But going back to Hayden, I guess I was a little bit of an apologist. I saw it in Korea when I was freezing. And it kind of like, I got this from now on. I liked the idea of jumping. I liked that they went to Japan and you could tell certain moments. I liked when Jamie Bell fought in the Coliseum with the baseball bat. I thought that was pretty neat. So, for me, this movie, I've watched a lot of movies where, I don't want to say them because I don't want Captain America, but those movies, people get really angry at me when I say that. I like the side characters more in the Captain America movies. I like, Scarlett Johansson. I like Bucky. I like, Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie. I like that. I mean, Paul Newman. So, I think
Paul Newman.
But they
was great.
I just think this character of his, I don't think I was ever invested in it. I just thought it was a pretty cool world. And
it wasn't, you're correct. No, you're correct. The world was cool. The powers were cool. The more interesting dude was the Irish dude. Yeah. Because he actually went through stuff. His whole family was murdered. His friends were murdered.
He could have had the blasé attitude, though, right? He could have had that, where...
Exactly.
I mean, that happens at 5, his family kills, he escapes. He probably kills his first paladin at 11, right? Then he finds out about banks. He's like, well, I've already killed people, so I'm going to war with them.
I might as well rob.
Yeah, I need money. And then he was like, well, since I'm already robbing, I can do... So you have this, almost like a villain battling these people. That could have made for a pretty interesting hero, quote-unquote hero.
Yeah, their anti-hero was right there. Ironically, they created the anti-hero that he wanted to actually feature as Hayden Christensen.
Whoa. Now, I don't, there are those podcasts that say we could do it better, and I always think hindsight, we have the luxury of hindsight right now. But imagine if he's the main character, and then
that would have been awesome.
But then he teams up with Hayden, who is Hayden, and he never committed to anything, and then he helps. And then then he learns the stakes. Does that make sense? When you pull in your rich friend, that could
it would have been far better. It would have been far better. Absolutely.
I mean, that'd be a pretty cool concept. But even while watching this movie, though, it's 90 minutes. I still think it's breezy enough. If someone ever looked at me and said, "Hey, would you watch Jumper? Or should I watch Jumper?" I'd say, are you focusing on it 100%? And they're like, no, I'm going to give it 80. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah. It's quick. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's quick.
Are you cooking
no, it's
dinner?
quick.
Are you cooking dinner during it? Oh, perfect.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It's a background movie. Totally. Background movie.
And I've always defended, I don't know, I just like the idea. I don't know.
No. It's you know, it's definitely something that if you're on an airplane, it's a perfect airplane movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be hour and a half. I would be
Because
so
it's
happy.
quick.
Yeah, I would be so happy because I'm like, I get to watch another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh,
It's a quick movie. It takes no real mental investment, and things blow up. That's awesome. But the better Jumper movie, we have just defined it, man. The Jamie Bell story of Jumper.
I think
that's it.
I want to see. I think more people should know the behind the scenes of this movie, and I would love for you to watch this documentary because they built massive sets. You know that sand layer of Jamie Bell?
Yeah. It was literally a lair. That's right. He called it a lair.
They built this massive sand pile. Just huge. And then for the scene, they go out to they go out to this really sandy area on ATVs.
Yeah.
And Jamie Bell's on the back of Doug Liman's ATV looking miserable. And
yeah.
They just had Jamie chase Hayden all over the desert for 20 seconds of film. And just to watch that, hear them talking about the reshoots and the kind of stuff like that. I thought it was pretty interesting to hear all that stuff.
Oh, that would be awesome, man. Actually, listen. My favorite DVD of all time is the Total Recall DVD because it has the director's commentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Paul Verhoeven at the same time, sitting in a room talking about the movie. Well, it's the greatest director's commentary in history.
Should that be our next movie that we talk about?
Good God. Total Recall? Listen, I could talk to you about that for days.
So you want to do Total Recall for our next one?
Whenever you're ready, brother. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So, I don't know, any other final thoughts about Jumper?
Well, the thing that I found really weird about Jumper, the trauma activates the superpowers. That's such a typical thing. Teleportation animation is dope, but you mentioned Eminem. That is the thing, man. That's the first vibe I got from this movie, that he was totally Eminem mixed with Nightcrawler.
Oh.
That's what they were going for.
Yep. Yeah.
That's totally the thing.
Do you think they should have, he didn't want to make many compromises on this movie, but do you think they could have utilized Hayden a little better in this role?
It all depends on what you think Hayden's skill set is, man.
Yeah.
Hayden's skill set is pouty emo guy.
Yeah.
It's not tough dude, Now, anybody looks awesome with a lightsaber in their hand. That's been proven. It's been proven. You put a lightsaber in a man's hand, he becomes one of the greatest humans in existence, in the history of human existence.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of this movie, they shouldn't have used Hayden. Let's see. Who would have been a better jumper?
I did feel bad, though. There's a scene where they said that they didn't want to do any expository dialogue. And if you notice the expository dialogue scene, they're driving, flipping, jumping. So they did everything to keep it from just a conversation. And I guess they kept a lot of dialogue out of Hayden's mouth, and they let Jamie do it. And they said Jamie just sounds so amazing when he lets that dialogue go. So I did feel a little bad.
You don't get it, do you? Right. Yeah, totally.
I felt who would have been so if they cast now, who would be a good jumper? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Okay. At the time, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh yeah, he'd have been good.
Because he's got the eyes for it, man. And he's got the depth. And he made even the exposition in Inception. I hate that movie. I'm sorry. He made the exposition in Inception interesting. He would have been way better as jumper guy.
So are we thinking? Joseph. Oh, sorry. So what kind of age frame are you talking about?
Well, how old is Hayden supposed to be? Early mid-20s?
Yeah, I would say something around there, right?
All right. So somebody today
in their early to mid-20s. I mean,
early
we could really
mid-20s today.
We could do actor, actress.
Oh man, woman.
I mean, that would totally work just fine.
Ooh, female. No, I'm not even saying that it would have been bad. It would have been more awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, that'd be pretty sweet. What about let's see.
The chick from Stranger Things? She's too young.
Yeah.